just get into the skin. It's really giving. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video I am doing a get ready with me using my Sephora favorites. So I'm actually getting ready to film my Sephora recommendations because the fall savings event is this Friday, and I figured since I already needed to get ready, I would go ahead and pull out all of my absolute favorite products, which I'll already be sharing in my recommendations video as well, and give you guys a little bit of a try on get ready with me so you guys can see the products in action on the face. So if you are still in the midst of trying to narrow down your cart, or if you are oily or combo skin like me and you're looking for a new setting powder or a new foundation or just new makeup products in general to create your everyday makeup looks or your soft glam, this is the video for you. So go ahead and whip out that Sephora app, your notes app, whatever the case may be, or if you're getting ready, go ahead and pull out all your makeup products and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I've got you guys zoomed in because we're actually going to do a quick little soft glam eye look moment. But before we jump into that, I'm going to moisturize my lips really quickly. I'm going to be using this product from Lawless. This is the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. I feel like I never hear anybody talk about this, and I have absolutely been loving it. It does have a slight minty tingling sensation to it, but nothing crazy. And as you can see, it just gives the lips a beautiful gloss, super comfortable on the lips and very, very moisturizing. So I have been using this down. As you can see, I have like this much left in the container. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow palette. Today, I'm actually going to be using this one from Patrick Ta. This is the first palette that he came out with. This is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. So this is like the more warm toned palette. Since then, he also has come out with a rose toned one, and then he just recently launched a matte one, which I have in my cart for the sale. So I'll keep you posted on if I actually end up purchasing it. I'm leaning very much towards yes, but as of right now, it's in the cart. But I wanted to do just something kind of real light, soft glam vibes for this look. So I figured this would be the perfect palette to use. So I did go ahead and prep my eyelids off camera. I literally just used the Too Faced Sculpting Concealer, which you guys know I love. And then I set that down with the NARS Pressed Powder in Sunshore, which I've shown in my videos previously. So I'm gonna start off first, I think with these two shades. And I'm going to do a mixture of those and apply them throughout the crease and also a little bit on the lid. Okay, so next up on the lid and a little bit lower in the crease, I'm going to go in with these two shades. I'm just going to do like a tap back and forth between the two of them and blend those on the crease. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not going too heavy on the red. I'm leaning more so into this brown shade and just tapping a little bit into this like reddish brick shade, just to deepen it up a little bit, but not too much because I do want to keep the look pretty soft for the most part. Okay, so next up for the lid shade, which is kind of what I am creating this whole look around, was this shade that I wanted to use. I'm going in with this like champagne kind of nude shade. It has reflex of like pink and a little bit of gold and a little bit of green. Very beautiful shade. I'm not sure how it's going to show up on the lid, but I'm going to start off with this, and then if we need to build up some other shades, we have some other shimmers in the palette, but I'm going to go ahead and pop that all over the lid. Okay, so it's kind of giving like a matte peachy tone vibe, which I'm not mad at, but I'm actually gonna mix it with a little bit of this shade down here on the bottom. It's similar to this like peachy tone shade in the sense that it has like a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's leaning a little bit more on the matte side. So I'm gonna mix the two of them together and see what we get on the lid. Okay, so that gave me a little bit more of what I was going for. It's giving like peachy nude, which I like. Honestly, it's giving like concealer on the lid, but with a little bit of glitter. That's what it's giving for me. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more on the outer crease and just kind of build up and blend out where the two shadows meet. I'm gonna mix the same two shades, these two shades, but I'm gonna lean a little bit more into that reddish brown shade and add that to like the outer V and blend out the crease. Okay, so last but not least for the eyes, because I feel like they need a little something extra, I'm gonna go in with this shade. And I'm actually just gonna pick that up on my finger and just pop it right on the lid just to give it a little extra sparkle. And then for my wing today, instead of using eyeliner, I'm going to use eyeshadow. I'm going to go into my Makeup by Mario Master Matte, and I'm going to mix the brown and the black to create a smoky wing liner. Alright y'all, so I'm back. Liner and lashes are on. Clearly what started out as what was supposed to be a soft glam look is giving very much glam, but we're committed now, so we're just gonna keep going. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and work on the complexion. I'm going in with 2 primers today. If you guys have been watching my videos, neither of these will be a surprise to you. Absolutely love and highly, highly recommend. The first one that I'm going in with is this one from Milk Makeup. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. Absolutely love this one as a base for my makeup. It does a great job of mattifying and smoothing the skin. And overall, if you are a combo or oily skin girl, I would highly recommend this one as just your base primer. So you can probably see already how much smoother and less oily my skin looked. That primer, top tier. And then next I'm going to go in with my Cali Ray So Blown primer. I'm probably going to need to re-up on this because I'm almost out of it, but this is such a great primer for blurring the skin. If you have large pores or texture on the skin or just anything that you want to smooth out before you apply your foundation or whatever complexion product you're using, I would highly recommend this one. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this on my cheek area and on my T-zone and really just focus it on the areas that I want to smooth. Okay, the before and after just with the primer, I mean, skin is looking smooth, it's looking mattified, it doesn't look dry. Those 2 primers, like I said, top tier. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get into my complexion. Lately, I have been loving this combination. If you are an oily skin girl, combination skin girly, or just somebody that wants a skin-like foundation that is also going to last you a really long time, this combination is fire. I have the Yummy Skin Balm in the shade number 7, and then I have the Serum Skin Tint in the shade 11. I do have a full review and wear test on the 2 of these together, but this has been my go-to lately because she just gives, okay? So we're gonna use these, and I'm actually just going to apply it straight to the face. Apply the skin tint straight to the face. Probably did a little too much on my forehead, but that's okay. And then for the balm, I'm just gonna take a little bit on my foundation brush and just use that to blend out the skin tint. If you have the translucent shade of this, you can still do this. I would just recommend applying the balm to your face first and then going in with the skin tint, just so that you're not adding color to your translucent balm. But since mine are both tinted, I don't mind just tapping my brush straight in there to apply it to the face. Okay, skin is looking good. The coverage is looking good. I do still have some of my dark spots peeking through, which is fine. I'm actually gonna cover those up with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer, another product that I absolutely love. This is such a great multi-use product. I use these for color correcting. I use them for concealing my brows. There's literally so many different ways that you can use this concealer. But I have this one in the shade Caramel, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dip straight in there and apply a little bit of that on my dark spots, because again, like I said, clearly we've committed to the full glam, so we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that the skin is flawless. And then I'm also gonna apply some of that underneath my eye just to kind of color correct some of that darkness. You can kind of see the difference between this one and this one before I go in with my Brightening Concealer. And I do have fine lines under my eyes, so I'm not adding too much of that. It's kind of just like whatever's left on the brush, just to cover up those dark spots, and also bringing it around my nose and around my mouth, really anywhere that needs a little extra coverage. Okay, so next up is concealer. I have been loving this Haus Labs concealer. I have mine in the shade 31 Medium Neutral. Again, another product that I did a full review and wear test on, so if you're interested in seeing how it wore throughout the day, I would recommend that you check that out. But I have been loving this for highlighting underneath my eyes, so this is the one that I'm going to use today. So you guys know, per usual, I'm just going to apply it on all the areas I want to highlight and then blend it out. I mean, honestly, just get into the skin. It's really giving. So I think I want to add just a little bit more concealer on the inner corner. So I'm gonna do that. And while that's kind of hanging out on the face, I'm going to do a little bit of cream contouring, or cream bronzing, I should say. And for that, I'm using my LYS cream bronzer stick. Whenever I need a cream bronzer, I'm either reaching for this one or the NARS cream bronzer. So if you're in the market for a cream bronzer, I would highly recommend any of the two of those. But today I'm gonna be using this one from LYS. And I literally just take a brush. Today I'm using this one from e.l.f. and I just like swipe it on the product and then apply it to my face that way. Literally just looks like skin, flawless. So next up, obviously, we're gonna go ahead and set all of these creams down. I'm gonna start off by setting my concealer. You guys know how much I love my One Size powder, but I recently pulled out the Huda Beauty loose setting powder, and I've been falling back in love with this one. So I'm going to set the face with this powder today. And then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows off camera, and then I'll come back and finish up the face. Okay, so brows are on. I feel like the face is slowly starting to come together. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face now. I pulled out my One Size setting powder, but I think I'm gonna use my Fenty one instead. My One Size is just a tinge darker than my Fenty, and I don't wanna change the tones that I have going on my face too much. So I'm gonna go in with this one from Fenty. You guys already know how much I love this powder. As you can see, I have hit pan on it and I'm scraping the sides. This is such a good powder, especially if you have like oily combination skin. It's gonna keep you matte, but it's not gonna dry you out. So absolutely love this powder. And you can also build it up too. So I normally just do a light layer because I typically have some type of liquid or cream complexion product on my face. But if you wanted to just do like concealer and then just go over it with this powder, you could do that as well. And then you could build it up to the coverage that you need. This has been out for a little minute, so if you haven't tried it, or if you've been on the fence about it, or if you're just looking for a new powder, I would definitely recommend this one or this one from One Size. So next I'm gonna go ahead and set down my bronzer. I'm gonna use this one from LYS today. I haven't used this one in a minute. I have it in the shade Courage, which is the same shade as the cream bronzer. So I'm gonna use this shade today to kind of bronze up the face and also set down the cream that we put down. Okay, so bronzer is on. For blush today, I'm going to layer a cream and a powder. First up for the cream, I'm gonna go in with this one from Danessa Myricks. I always forget about these blushes, so I wanted to pull it out and use it today because they are really good and they use the same ingredients as the balm that kind of help control oil throughout the day. So I have this one in the shade Jubilee, which is kind of like a pinkish mauve tone shade, which I feel like will complement what we have going on the eyes. Also using this brush from LYS, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that on the cheeks. And I did already apply powder, which you guys saw, so I was being a little bit risky going in with a cream blush, but these do set down to a powder, and you can see how nicely they're blending out on the skin. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go in with one of my Too Faced blushes. I think I'm gonna top it off. I was gonna go in with this one, but I think I'm gonna top it off with a shade a little bit lighter. I've been showing you guys these in my videos a ton lately, so they shouldn't come as any surprise. But this one I got recently. It's in the shade Golden Hour, and it's a more, do I wanna use this? It's giving very, 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 very pink. I don't know. I think I might just go back to this one. So I'm gonna use Velvet Crush. So this is what the packaging looks like on that one. It's the one that I've been using the most in my videos. It's just a very kind of everyday pink mauve tone shade, beautiful for fall. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this shade instead and just use that to set down the cream. And again, these Danessa Myricks products, they do set down to a powder, so it's not really necessary to set them, but again, since I do have oily skin, I do like to take all the precautions. So I am going to, any cream I put on my face, I'm going to set down with the powder. Okay, so next up is highlight. I've been loving these from Too Faced. These are the Moon Crush Out of This World highlighters. I have Shooting Star and Summer Moon. I like to just mix them together. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop those on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, all the typical places that I like to highlight the face. I'm also gonna pop a little bit of this lighter one in Shooting Star on the inner corner. Okay, so before I do my bottom lash line, I'm gonna go ahead and just melt all of these powders and everything together. I'm using my Too Faced Hangover Prep and Set setting spray. I know this came out forever ago, but I pulled it back out recently because I was looking for something a little bit more hydrating, I guess you could say, of a setting spray that I could use to just melt all of the products together before I go in with this to lock it in. So I pulled this out and I've been loving it, and it kind of just like melts all the powders, as you can see, and just brings the face back to life. And then I do want to brighten just a little bit more underneath my eyes, so I'm gonna go in with this Huda Beauty Bake and Snatch setting powder. This is another product that I did a review on recently because it did launch within the last couple of weeks, and I have been loving this for days that I want to like brighten the face just a little bit more than my concealer or setting powder did. So I just like to pick it up on my little beauty sponge, not too much because this is very, very brightening, and I'm just going to touch up and brighten underneath the eyes. And I do also like to use it to clean up outside of my eyeshadow. And then I'll bring it down and set my smile lines, and then also clean up right underneath my bronzer or contour. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up the lower lash line off camera. I didn't do too much because I didn't want it to get too smoky under there. So I basically just mixed the shades that I used in my crease from the Patrick Ta palette, the matte shades. I just mixed those on a brush and just popped them underneath the lash line and then added some mascara. That's it. So let's go ahead and finish off this look with the lips. My lips are feeling nice and hydrated after using the lip oil that we used in the beginning. And so we can just go ahead and go straight in. I think today I'm going to be using these 3 products: this lip liner from Makeup Forever, a NARS lipstick, and then I'm thinking about topping it off with this lippy from YSL. I feel like this look is giving very much peach tones, so I'm just going to stick with that vibe and we'll see how it comes together. Okay, so this is the lip, and then last but not least, we're just gonna set everything down, lock it in place with the One Size setting spray. All right, y'all, so this is the finished face. This is how everything came together. I feel like it's definitely giving fall vibes. It's giving holiday party. It's giving fall glam, and I'm very much here for it. So if you guys are still on the fence about products that you should add to your cart for the Sephora savings event, hopefully this video helped you seeing some of my favorites in action. I will definitely have all of the products that I use in today's video linked and listed for you down below in the description bar to make it super easy for you to shop. Also, if you haven't already, I have a full recommendations video up on my channel as well, where I also included fragrance, skincare, body care, a lot of things outside of the makeup category that I very highly recommend for you guys. So I'll link that for you at the end of this video to check out if you haven't already. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe to join the fam, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video.